10 greatest atmospheres in the Premier League. A good atmosphere in football is incredibly important. When fans are able to create an intimidating cauldron and attempt to suck the ball into the net, a game can become a whole lot harder for opponents. Across Europe, stadiums such as the Bernabeu, the San Siro, and Signal Iduna Park are famed for their incredible noise and how vibrant the support can be, particularly on the European nights. In the Premier League, there are a number of stadiums which can replicate these atmospheres, especially on the biggest of occasions, and give their teams an edge. The ranking factors include the noise levels, how intimidating the ground is, and attendances. At number 10, we have the Molineux Stadium. So at its best, Molineux is one of the loudest stadiums in the Premier League, acting as the team's 12th man. The Wolves fan base can produce a very intimidating atmosphere to give their team the edge, especially during their Europa League match in 2019. Their promotion to the Premier League in 2018, Molineux was rocking and provided their team an edge on the biggest occasion. At number 9, we have Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. With the largest single stand in the United Kingdom, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is able to create a special atmosphere when the fans are on the side. Despite not seeing any silverware, Spurs home has hosted some big occasions, including the Champions League and Carabao Cup semi-finals, and in these instances, the ground has been rocking, despite not having the same character as White Hart Lane. At number 8, we have the Old Trafford, home to Manchester United. Nicknamed the Theatre of Dreams, Old Trafford is arguably the most iconic stadium in the Premier League, if not the world, and it is the biggest club ground in the UK. Although it is in need of serious repairs, the home of Manchester United is a special arena which holds a lot of history. Having hosted some of football's best players and teams, the ground has been it all, and its atmosphere has been incredible. With over 70,000 people inside every week, Old Trafford can generate some major noise. At number 7 is Emirates Stadium, the home of Arsenal. Since Arteta's arrival at Arsenal, it isn't just their performance on the pitch that has improved. Once known for having very poor atmosphere, the Emirates Stadium has become a lot louder since the Gunners' upturn in performances. With big games occurring more often, the Gunners progress in the Champions League and compete for the Premier League titles. Arsenal needs strong support, and the fans have delivered on that recent years. Its capacity is 60,704. At number 6, we have the Selhurst Park, the home of Crystal Palace. One of the only clubs in England with ultras similar to those across Europe, Crystal Palace have one of the most intimidating atmospheres in the country. Known as the Holmesdale Fanatics, the fans create displays with banners and drums to produce a rowdy noise. With the constant chanting from each one, Crystal Palace certainly have one of the best atmospheres in the Premier League, making Selhurst Park an arena that many top teams struggle to cope in. Its capacity is 25,486. At number 5, we have the City Ground, and City Ground is home of Nottingham Forest, one of the biggest clubs in England, having won the European Cup on 2 occasions. Nottingham Forest atmosphere matches their club's station. A very passionate fan base, the Reds have spent a number of years languishing in the Championship, but their fans continue to follow in their numbers. Since the club has grown again and challenged at the top of the Premier League, the Forest faithful have continued to be their team's 12th man. Its capacity is 30,404. At number 4, we have Villa Park, the home of Aston Villa. Especially on the biggest occasions, Villa Park has one of the most electric atmospheres in England. As Aston Villa are back playing regularly in Europe, Villa is rocking as it hosts some of the world's best teams with a capacity of 42,785. At number 3, we have Goodison Park, the home of Everton. A stadium that is in its final season, Goodison Park is a truly iconic venue. A traditional stadium with wooden seats and fans very close to the pitch, the home of the Toffees is full of history, producing an electric atmosphere when the teams are playing well. Its capacity is 39,572. At number 2, we have St. James's Park, the home of Newcastle. With one of the most dedicated fan bases in the world, a unique layout, Newcastle United St. James's Park is a truly special stadium that produces an incredible atmosphere. It is always full, with over 50,000 dedicated goodies at St. James's Park. Its capacity is 52,305. And the club with the most noise in England is Anfield, the home of Liverpool. Anfield is one of the most loudest stadiums in the world when it hosts big games. A ground that is recognized around the world and a place that all football fans want to visit. Anfield has a special atmosphere on the European nights or when hosting derbies. A ground that is recognized around the world and a place that all football fans want to visit. On those occasions, the pre-match rendition of You'll Never Walk Alone often becomes genuinely spine-tingling, while the roar of the Reds' faithful often has visiting teams settling for mere survival during their first 20 minutes of games, a place where best players shine and opponents shrink. Liverpool's passionate fans are able to make all the difference. Its capacity is 61,276. Thank you. You comment your best club.